You're watching the student's grand plie. The first thing to look at is their posture. Is the head over the shoulders, over the hips? Legs are tracking so the knees are coming over the toes. Feet are working straight through, not rolling in and out. Pay particular attention to the pelvis and make sure it's not either tilting forward or tucking under. Then the next thing to look at is the footwork. So as the student goes from the demi-plie to the grand plie, is the heel lift gradual and sequential through the foot, or are they just popping the heel up and then pressing it down? It's helpful to watch the student from both the front and the side. From the side, we're going to get a little better read on the turnout. You'll notice that this student increases her turnout on her way down and then loses some of that turnout as she straightens up, especially when she goes from the demi-plie to the fully straightened leg. The student is very good about keeping her pelvis vertical throughout the whole movement and her upper body quiet. During the spring releve, the student will plie, forcefully stretch up to the point, scooping the feet under, but not with as much distance as the replace plie. You might see the student slightly leave the floor. The idea is not to jump, but sometimes there's so much forward force, and the strongly pointed foot does allow the foot to leave the floor slightly. It's very important that when the student comes down onto the platform, they're coming straight onto the platform and not rolling out towards the big or the little toes. When you're coming down from the spring releve, it's quite challenging for the students to release both feet at the same time. So sometimes you see a climb down where you'll see one foot release and then the other. In fifth position, you were going to a susu. In fourth position, the legs are going to come across at the thigh, but not replace back as close together as they did in the previous exercise of replacing. When we're looking at the clips at regular speed, the jump isn't quite as obvious, but what becomes more obvious is the double plie. So again, that double plie lets us know that the student is sitting at the bottom of the plie and having to go down again to get the energy to come back up. So one of the things you would want to work on with this student is a deeper plie and a better timing of the plie to the releve so you can get rid of that bounce. As we start to compare shoes, I'm wearing a different shoe on both the right and left foot. My left foot is on the right side of your screen, and this shoe is just too big for me. While it looks nice in the front and it doesn't look horrible when I'm flat, you can actually take your finger and run it under the side of the shoe all the way around through the front and to the other side. So that's letting me know that it's a little bit too wide. The crown is too high. That's the amount from the floor to the top of the vamp. The vamp is also long on this shoe, and that wouldn't be a problem except the box is just as long as the vamp. So with the shorter toes, that means I'm going to be fighting my releve all the time when I'm trying to work through that 3/4 point. So this is too much shoe for my foot.